Deep within the vast, shimmering expanse of the North Indian Ocean lies a tiny emerald green speck that defies the very fabric of the modern world. From a satellite's perspective, it looks like a tropical paradise. Lush jungles, pristine white sands, and turquoise waters. But this is North Sentinel Island, and it is arguably the most dangerous piece of land on the planet. For over 30,000 years, the people here have lived in total, unbroken isolation. They have no internet, no electricity, no wheels, and no desire to meet you. In fact, if you were to wash up on these shores, you wouldn't agree with lei or a cold drink. You would be met by a rain of hand-carved bone arrows. This is the story of the only place on Earth where time has effectively stood still since the Stone Age, and why the global authorities have officially declared it the most forbidden destination in existence. To understand why no one can visit, we must first look at the geography of this natural fortress. North Sentinel Island is roughly the size of Manhattan, but unlike the concrete jungle of New York, this jungle is so dense that even modern thermal imaging struggles to see what lies beneath the canopy. Surrounding the island is a treacherous, jagged ring of coral reefs. These reefs act as a serrated wall, shredding the hulls of ships that wander too close. During low tide, the island expands as the reefs emerge, creating a graveyard of rusted metal from vessels that miscalculated the currents. For the Sentinelese people, these reefs are not obstacles. They are a source of life and a primary defense mechanism. They have spent millennia navigating these shallow lagoons in outrigger canoes, becoming masters of an environment that kills almost any outsider who attempts to enter. The history of our attempts to contact the Sentinelese is a dark catalog of misunderstanding and tragedy. The first major recorded encounter occurred in the late 1800s, during the height of the British Empire. A young naval officer named Maurice Vidal Portman, obsessed with documenting primitive tribes, landed on the island with a large party of armed sailors. They found the villages empty, as the tribe had retreated deep into the forest. Eventually, they captured an elderly couple and 4 children, in a move of staggering ignorance. Portman took them to Port Blair to study them. Within days, the elderly man and woman, who had lived their entire lives in a germ-free environment, succumbed to common Western illnesses and died. Fearing the children would also perish, Portman dropped them back on the beach with a few pathetic gifts. It is almost certain that this event left a permanent scar on the tribe's collective memory. From their perspective, the ghosts from the sea arrived, kidnapped their elders, and brought a deadly, invisible curse. This foundational trauma likely dictated the tribe's policy for the next century: total hostility. In 1974, a National Geographic film crew attempted to film a documentary titled Man in Search of Man. They approached the shore with a police escort, hoping to offer gifts like a miniature car, a live pig, and coconuts. The response was immediate. A Sentinelese warrior emerged from the tree line, drew a longbow, and fired an arrow directly into the director's thigh. As the crew retreated, they watched the warrior laugh and continued to fire at their boat. They realized then that the Sentinelese did not want our technology, our food, or our friendship. They wanted us gone. The tribe's resilience was tested most significantly during the 2004 Great Indian Ocean Tsunami. This was one of the deadliest natural disasters in human history, wiping out entire coastal cities and killing over 200,000 people. In the Andaman Islands, the earthquake actually lifted North Sentinel Island by several feet, permanently exposing the surrounding reefs and changing the island's geography forever. Experts fear the tribe had been wiped out by the massive wall of water. Days later, an Indian Coast Guard helicopter flew low over the beach to look for survivors. As they hovered, a lone tribesman ran out onto the sand, brandishing a spear and aiming his bow at the aircraft. It was a powerful, defiant image that went viral globally. They didn't need our aid, they didn't need our medicine, and despite the world falling apart around them, they were still standing. However, the most chilling chapter of this story happened very recently. In November 2018, a 26-year-old American missionary named John Allen Chow became obsessed with the idea of converting the Sentinelese. Despite knowing that it was strictly illegal under Indian law to go within 5 miles of the island, he paid local fishermen to smuggle him to the exclusion zone. Chow believed he was on a divine mission, but the reality was far more grim. His diary entries, recovered after his death, show a man who was increasingly terrified but refused to turn back. On his first attempt to land, a young boy fired an arrow that pierced Chow's waterproof Bible. Instead of seeing this as a final warning, he returned the next day. The fishermen watched from the boat as the tribesmen dragged his body across the sand. Because the Indian government respects the sovereignty of the tribe and fears their recovery mission would lead to more violence or the introduction of deadly pathogens, Chow's body remains on the island to this day. This brings us to the legal and ethical why. Why doesn't the Indian government just go in and civilize them? The answer is twofold: protection for us and protection for them, biologically. The Sentinelese are likely the most vulnerable humans on the planet because they have been isolated for so long. They have no immunity to common viruses like the flu, the cold, or even the measles. A single visitor with a mild cough could inadvertently commit genocide, wiping out the entire population in weeks. From a legal standpoint, the Indian government has adopted a policy of eyes on, hands off. They maintain a constant naval patrol around the island to ensure no tourists or poachers get close. They recognize the Sentinelese as a sovereign people who have clearly expressed their desire for solitude. As we look at the world in 2026, a world dominated by constant connectivity, surveillance, and the loss of privacy, North Sentinel Island represents the last true mystery. We do not know what they call themselves. The name Sentinelese is just a name we gave them. We do not know their language, their religious beliefs, or how they perceive the giant metal birds, airplanes, that occasionally fly over their sky. They are the only people on Earth who are truly free from the pressures of modern society, the global economy, and the digital age. They are the guardians of a prehistoric human experience that the rest of us lost thousands of years ago. For the American viewer or the global traveler, the lesson of North Sentinel Island is one of humility. It is a reminder that not every place on Earth is meant for us. Not every culture needs to be discovered or saved. The reason no one can visit this place is that the island itself, and the people who call it home, have fought for 30 millennia to remain hidden. They are a living testament to the strength of the human spirit and the desire for independence. So, while you can see the island on Google Earth and you can read about their history, the beach itself remains forbidden frontier, a line in the sand that we must respect if we want this last piece of ancient humanity to survive. The arrows will keep flying as long as we keep trying to intrude, and perhaps in a world that is louder than ever, their silence is exactly what needs to be protected. The mystery of North Sentinel is not just about a tribe. It's about the boundaries of our own curiosity. We live in an era where we feel entitled to see everything. But this island stands as a firm no. It challenges our modern worldview. We see their lack of technology as poverty, but they likely see our world of noise and pollution as a nightmare. By staying away, we are performing an act of global conservation, preserving a lineage of people who represent our own origins. As the sun sets over the Indian Ocean, casting long shadows across the Sentinelese jungle, the island remains a dark silhouette against the waves. It is a place of shadows, of ancient fires, and of a people who have successfully kept the entire world at bay. It is and must remain the one place on Earth you can never go